He live stream, bro.
Curtis Thompson says, what about the Steelers trading a TJ Watt for a pick? Trading a
That's not
TJ
gonna
Watt for
happen,
a
and
pick.
I don't need
You
no
think about
bullets.
that?
So
Saw that. Nobody who was trying to Washington. Oh, Washington is looking to
like,
trade
come
for
on, bro.
you want to pay that. Yeah. You want to pay that. I don't blame him. The man give me 13, 14 back in the year. You got to pay the contract that the Steelers had him under. Pay the man.
Girl, you like
You
that,
don't want to
don't you?
give me look, I know his brother left. He was only with play what 1 year, 2 years in Arizona.
Oh,
Take
oh
care
my
of that.
gosh, I'm
Take
dead. Ah,
care of that
I
kid.
ain't even see them, bro.
Take care of it. Take care of it kid.
Damn, that was good too. I died because of your dick.
I sure appreciate that, though. Pat does that also. Have you experienced Gator on your front porch like the viral videos going around today? Oh yeah, most definitely. Listen, Gators is they frequent sometimes in the city, the outer cities, over in Okeechobee areas, the canals. Um, what people have done is they catch them when they small, and when they get too big, they release them back in the canals.
I'll do my
They don't.
best.
I've never really heard of anybody getting hurt or injured, and you see them all the time. It's almost like he's gone, almost like lizards. You see them all the time, and so often it's like it's nothing. And if they get too big, obviously, people call animal control, get them about area. But it's like seeing the damn peacock or a chicken at this point, especially if you live in Florida. I'm serious. Serious. Love never felt so good. Respect to you and Chad. Respect to you, Chad, a real Dade County legend. Know you were running things out here secret. Yeah. You know your boy out here, doing what he do. Put one foot in front of the other, holding my head high. 1 foot. It is what it is. You know what the nigga read. Stop playing. Dr. Frankie L. Felony. Hey, fam. Just saying hello, and I hope y'all had a good day. Love y'all. Dr. Frankie, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. Dr. Frankie, I don't know if you were first, but you was top 5 of people that subscribed to Nightcap. You came to our very first tour stop in Las Vegas. You were there. Atlanta, you were there. Uh, where else you came? You came to New Orleans. You were there. So, Doc, we can't thank you enough. We can't say we appreciate you enough. You and your husband, we love you. Thank you. Chris Robinson, Uncle Ocho, like Marvin Harrison, where he rank among receivers. Also, you can only have one life or Harlem night. Ooh, that's a good one. I don't like that. I don't like that. Damn! You got some legend in those things. Both of them. Yes. That's tough. If I had to pick, I think I'm gonna go with life. You can't go. I go Harlem Nights. But that's one of those situations. That's one of those situations where you can't go wrong either way you go. You can't go
But
wrong.
both of them had legends up in them. You know, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. You had Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, and then you had Bernie Mac. You had Red Fox. You had Dylan
Yeah,
Reese.
legends.
You had Ronaldo Ray.
Ray, yeah, yep. And
Hey, I think I got to go. Hey,
and
Chad, what y'all got? I think I got to go tonight.
you're gonna laugh. With both of them, you're gonna laugh.
Oh, oh, oh.
Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes are bigger, better, and most importantly,
A 3% IRA match with Robin of Gold. The reckoning has commenced.
That concludes this episode of Nightcap. Thank you guys for joining us. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that like button and go subscribe to the Nightcap Podcast feed wherever you get your podcast from. Y'all know me. I'm your favorite up. Number 85. Century City's on. He's running Dade County with the Kelvin. Oh no. That's what I just heard. Got chimed in and said, oh, Ocho, I didn't know you was running things in Dade County. That's him. Chan Ocho Cinco Johnson. Guys, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your continued support. We really appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in no matter what. We can count on you guys. We're going to be off tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can count on Nightcap to be here. Please go follow my media company page on all of its platforms, Shay Shay Media. Please make sure you go check out Shea by LaPortier. Now, if Shea by LaPortier isn't currently in a state or city near you, order it online. We'll ship it directly to your door. Please drink responsibly and stay safe. Check out my clothing company, 84, with 84 being spelled out. Everything has restocked. The link is pinned in the chat. Supplies are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone. Please make sure you grab yours while supplies last. Tickets for our Not Safe for Work tour are on sale. Our 8 stops are Baltimore, Philly, Charlotte, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, Chicago, and Detroit. Tickets can't be found at shayshaymedia.com/tour. That's shayshaymedia.com/tour. That link is also pinned in the chat. Guest lineup is shaping up. Gonna be crazy. Guys, don't miss this. You don't want to miss it. Unc and Ocho coming to a state city here in Houston. You don't want to miss it. Go get your tickets now. Guys, thank you for joining us. As I said, the basketball will be in Green Bay. Draft on Thursday. I'm Unc. He's Ocho. We're out tomorrow, but we'll see you Thursday at the draft.
Mm, touchdown. Ah, nigga. Crying out, nigga. Crying for him. I'm down. Sure not trying to hear. Nah, you shut the fuck up. Nah, you shut the fuck up, nigga. All that crying shit, bitch. Stop crying, nigga. Fuck. Yeah. I didn't hear that shit, nigga. Bring them for all that.
So you guys want to try to play Madden every single day until college football 26. And I got some questions on the
College
last
20
one.
about
You guys got
26
any
finna come out.
questions?
I'm damn sure ain't getting that shit. That game already suck ass. What make you think the net gonna be good?
I can't expect. Listen, when you watch Minnesota, 117 points in game one, a season low, 85 in game two, a season low. You know, they got bipolar disorder, man. You don't know which Minnesota Timberwolves team is going to show up. They look discombobulated. They look disorganized. They look chaotic. You're dribbling too much. You're not spreading the floor properly. You're not making the extra pass. You're not. And don't get me started with this. Shooting 5 of 25, 5 of 25 from 3-point range after the way they shot lights out in game one. This is the reason why people felt this was a matchup made for the Los Angeles Lakers coming into this series. Because with Minnesota, you never know what you're going to get. They were trapping Anthony Edwards. They were getting the ball out of his hands. I understand it. But you're looking at Nas Reed. You don't need to be handling the ball too much. McDaniels, you don't need to be handling the ball too much. Julius Randle, I mean, listen, Mr. Lefty, he ain't ambidextrous, okay? We know this, all right? Even though he put up some decent numbers last day, had 27 points. I just found myself incredibly frustrated with Minnesota. The Lakers scored 60 points over the last 3 quarters. 60 points over the last 3 quarters of the game. And still, Minnesota never pulled closer than within 9 because you're all over the place offensively. You can't win this series like that. You don't have a chance to win this series like that. You're looking at them and you're just saying to yourself, Mike Conley Jr., you've been a veteran point guard in the league for years. Control them. Control the pace. You know what? You got to ball. Don't be driving and driving. I saw McDaniels literally run over Austin Reeves. Like, and then look at the ref like, what did I do? What you do? Not football. Not trying to run, not trying to break tackles. Trying to get to the basket. You're just looking at them right now. And I was just turned off Wendy and Doggy.
Let them beat you then, nigga.
They look. That is not a team that would beat the Lakers in the series.
100%. They were so satisfied that they got the split with the first game on Saturday night where they made 1,000,000 threes. Good job by JJ. I guess they had a hard practice the day before. They went through film on Easter Sunday. He did have them ready to play. He's done a good job, so give him credit for there. But I definitely agree with you 100% about Minnesota. I think Steve's. I look at more from a Minnesota standpoint and a Lakers standpoint too. You figured the Lakers were going to win the game. They were favored. Even in Vegas, down by a game, they were still pretty much a pick 'em in the series, which was odd. And Minnesota does not have a great home court. I'll give you a million examples of teams in the last, whatever it might be, going into the Target Center winning games. Dallas did last year. Obviously, Denver did when they were down 2-0. They got back to 2-2. So from that perspective, I'm a little worried that Minnesota appeared to be, hey, you know what? We got it split. We won the first game. We'll go out there and play, and we'll see. Maybe we'll have a chance in the fourth quarter. And I think they didn't come with that urgency that you like to have. They were out of the game right away. The game was not competitive after the first quarter. That's one of those playoff games. You watch the first quarter, you've seen it all. But I'm with Steve 1,000%. Me, it's more about the T-Wolves than about the Lakers. It really is.
Brian?
I hated watching this game. It was 12:30 in the morning, and it was close enough that I had to keep watching it, but neither team was impressive down the stretch. I will give the Lakers credit. This was a must-win game for them. Luka came out and was awesome in the first quarter. As I watched the end of this game, where they're both fumbling and stumbling and running over each other and all that stuff, I'm thinking of what the Denver Nuggets LA Clippers series looks like. Those two heavyweights who look like they both could win the West under the right circumstances. I'm thinking about Oklahoma City, who has dismantled the Grizzlies so far, totally looking like the 68-win team that they were during the regular season. And I'm thinking, one of these two teams can run through the West playing this way? No way. So I'll give them a pass that it was the first 2 games of the series and it's going to be a long series. I just wasn't impressed either way. Luka has given Minnesota all kinds of problems over the last 2 years. If I was going to look into the future and say how the series is going to go, I don't see how Minnesota stops him. so I'd lean towards the Lakers. I think he probably carries them. But Edwards hasn't been great these first two games. And what was alarming about last night's game is that he said he was confused by the defense the Lakers played on. He said it was sort of a zone. You know, I'm not an X's and O's expert. I think the way the Lakers were playing against him was similar to the way they play against great scorers, where they just try to crowd the paint and dare the guy to pick and shoot threes. Like maybe there was a new.
You did tell me that though. You did tell me that.
For that, I think he showed the aggression he needed to show considering the stakes. And the big thing was he had
I'm watching, baby.
He hasn't had a no assist game in 3 years. He had 9 assists in game 1. So this is really about Edwards answering back with a great game or two when this series goes to Minneapolis.
Well, first of all, collectively speaking, as an offense, they were absolutely awesome. Let's get that out. Okay, you guys
downhill.
Looking at Nas Reed and Jaden McDaniels, they combined for 48 points on 19 for 25 shooting in game 1. That's 76%. Last night they combined for 17 points. Think about that. That's a 31-point drop off on 6 to 19 shooting, which was 31%. Okay, so you got that going on. Rudy Gobert, 29 minutes, just 6 points. I mean, what are you there? Mike Conley, you're the point guard. You're the point guard. Scoreless in 21 minutes, 0 for 5 from the field, and 1 assist. Really? That's what we're doing. Mike Conley's better than that. I don't give a damn how old he is. He's a veteran. He's better than that. 1 assist, 0 points, and a playoff game. Come on, Mike Conley. You're better than that, okay? And Ant-Man, what have I said? This brother can be Jordan-esque. He's got that kind of capability, that kind of talent. This brother's special. Yo, Ant-Man, you're not answering the call. You're not answering the call. I don't give a damn what the Lakers thought you. 23.5 points. 41% shooting, 35% from three-point range. We expect better. When you're going up against Luka Doncic and LeBron James, and you are the star of the other team, you got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. So, again, we understand it. I think for me personally, it's always been tricky because I have so much respect for the coach, Finch. I know he's a good coach. Please don't get me wrong, Wendy. I really, really do. But I got to look at coaching when historically you're a bit haphazard. You're a bit bipolar. What you are on one night, you may not be on the next night.
I want to go to the Lakers side. Mad Dog, do the Lakers need more from LeBron if they're going to advance?
Yeah, maybe not in this series, but if they're going to win a championship, he's got to be the LeBron of 10 years. Lakers not that good. I mean, you know, Hayes, I get the idea with Luka. Hayes is, you know, he kind of tries to fit in. Only 16 points last night. Sometimes he's not as big a factor as you'd like. LeBron, it's all about Luka in the first half last night, as was in game 1. They have nothing down low. They can't wait to get Hayes out of the game. They have nothing down low. This is not a championship team. Now, I'm with Wendy. I think they'll probably figure out a way to win this series. And we'll see how they handle it with Golden State, if in fact they play them. But I think the two best teams in the West, what I had seen so far in the 2 games, are the Thunder 1 and the Clippers 2. All right, those are the 2 best teams. If anybody can beat the Thunder, it could be the Clippers because Leonard's great. They guard SGA, and I don't know if OKC has that guaranteed.
And we'll get into the
second,
Thunder.
I don't know if that guaranteed second score. These other teams, you know, they're decent. They're good teams. But I don't think they're championship worthy, and that includes the Lakers. So I don't think they are going to get to the final. I think the Lakers Golden State series, if they play, will be interesting. But I think if anybody's going to beat OKC in the West, it's going to be the Clippers.
Wendy, what do they need from LeBron to advance?
This is Google Pixel 9a with Gemini. It's free at Verizon, with plans starting at $30 a line. And this is Nicole asking, where the heck are you? And Gemini helping you respond in the style of Shakespeare. So get Google Pixel 9a on us and our new 3-year price lock guarantee with plans starting at $30 a line.
Be at work, young nigga, but I'ma hear about it, young nigga.
Okay, here's the thing. If you look at the top 10 players in this
Damn,
series,
sassy.
I think, and maybe you get an argument, I think the Lakers only have 3 of them.
Get the ball out. Get the ball out. Sorry, nigga. You sorry.
And if the Lakers win and advance,
You ain't playing like Ant. You ain't playing like Ant right now.
I think you're going to be in the same boat. Okay? So that means one of 2 things has got to happen if the Lakers are going to make a run. One is those 3 guys, look, obviously LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves, have got to be great. Maybe they don't have to be great every single night, all 3 of them, but in general, they got to be great. And LeBron has been good. He's been okay. he was okay last night. He made some plays in the fourth quarter. He didn't, expend a lot of energy on defense, which is what they wanted to do. But let's just be honest. For the Lakers to do something, those three guys got to be great, like repeatedly, like 5 or so times in a series. Or the role players that are variance players, like Dorian Finney-Smith or Rui Hachimura or Gabe Vincent, they got to be great. Like, they got to have a game where they all three of them hit 8 or 9 points. And maybe that'll happen once or twice. But the way the Lakers go is that LeBron is great. And just hasn't been there yet. We'll see.
Well, we will see. But one of the things that will help LeBron James, not that myself or you or anybody else is in a position to tell him, I'm sure he already knows, the man has only attempted 6 free throws in this series thus far. Now, you can credit Minnesota and its size and the fact that him getting to the hole and drawing fouls isn't as easy against them as it would be against other folks. But when you're shooting 20% from three as he is in this series, you might need to find a way to get to the hole, to get to the free throw line. That's number one. Number two, if you're Finch, back to the coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, you haven't figured out that putting Rudy Gobert in ISO situations against Luka Doncic is not something that's going to work for you. Luka Doncic has 16 points in the first quarter. I mean, he's having as well. I mean, you haven't figured that out. I'm just looking at this man, and I'm saying, I know he's a good coach.
Yeah.
Show me something new. Show me a different look. You got to do something because you can't have your offense that lethargic, that sporadic, and haphazard rather last night, and do nothing for 48 minutes about it. Nothing. But that's what happened.
Yeah, with that type of talent.
They are 1-1. That's not what
I'm just talking about how they look offensively. You're not going to have a chance to win this series. We know the Lakers.
We'll have much more on the Lakers later.
I wasn't on kickoff. Give me up. That's right, baby.
But it don't matter. We got to win no matter what. If I have 30, if I have 10, we just got to win. It's about players, it's about team, and we just got to win.
That was a dumb beast.
Yeah, we play you hard for 48 minutes. Just keep in the style we jump. We play physical, and that's what we got to play for the whole 48 minutes.
This crowd would get pretty hyped whenever you are matched up with Rudy Gobert. How did you attack that matchup?
Yeah, from the start, I always say I like to attack centers. And the first, I got a little bit.
Hold out. We need that shotgun, bro.
You also played some lockdown defense there in the fourth. How'd you show up as a defender tonight?
I think I did great. The whole team held. But it's not just about individual positions. It's about all 5 on the floor. We're great in shifts, and that's what we got to do.
Lastly, what do you need to take from this game into game 3 to get another W?
We got to play the same way, same physicality. It's going to be hard. I remember playing Minnesota. The crowd is in. And have an amazing fans. And we got to stay locked in. It's us against them.
Thank you so much, Luka. Back to you, Kevin.
Oh, all right.
Indy and Cleveland. He's playing a long distance game. We got Shefty, Schrager, and Field. They're
Yeah.
in Green Bay to talk draft on the way. Let's start with the game of the night. Game 2, T-Wolves and Lakers. If you were looking for a Picasso, this wasn't where you were going to find it.
Looking.
This isn't where you were going to find it. But what you did find is Luka Doncic effective last night. Step back, Lakers up to 8-1 in the first quarter. Swing the ball around. Luka can do this from deep. But look at the Minnesota bench. It's not even a hit. Doncic outscored the Timberwolves 16-15 in the first quarter. Picking up second quarter now. Isolates Rudy Gobert.
That's why you were doing all that. I was like, there's no way you thought you were doing all that to somebody. Real, bro. I'm like, no way he that good. Say, bro.
Lakers lead 58-43. Here was a good highlight from the T-Wolves. And Anthony Edwards. I kept looking at the clock in the game, and I'm like, okay, is that going to be the moment? Is this going to be the clip? Is this the turnaround? Good thought, but too much Luka.
When it comes to getting you back to feeling right at home, Alpha is there by your side. We make sure everything is taken care of. So you can get back to it.
Nope. Oh.
You know, you've seen a lot of Luka 21 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Luka 31. Lakers win 94-85. They did what they had control off of game one. They get the split. Win or lose, Doncic has been great in the Lakers' first two playoff games, averaging 30, 10, and 5. That's good. Like Luke was traded to LA in a blockbuster that seems to be going. And we didn't want to start with you. What is the first thing to say about the game on It's not worth losing sleep over. I did it for you. You don't want to hear about it. All you need to know is that Luka played a great first quarter. It was the kind of force that the Lakers need to play with to keep themselves in this series. Everything else, I really can't say was impressive at all. I don't think either of these teams are going anywhere unless they raise their level of play, which they have time to do. The Wolves have got nothing out of their back. Edwards put up some points, but he had 0 assists. That is not who he is. He didn't shoot the ball well in game one either, but in game one he had 9 assists. This game he had no assists. Mike Conley played maybe the worst game I've ever seen him play as a starting point guard. He didn't make a basket and didn't have an assist. So the Lakers get some credit for that with the defense. This was a very ugly game. This was not something either team wants to remember. Let's move on. Let's see you in game two.
Before we move on to game three, thank you for your optimism this morning. Alan, what was your biggest takeaway?
JJ Redick was the star of this game. This was not a game that you can look at Luka's numbers and you can certainly look at LeBron and what the Lakers did to win this game. But this was a JJ Redick game. Here's why. Because number one, he didn't have his...
Had to cut the dress, had to let the host in my face.
Getting to a great start, then started to slip. Right here is in the third quarter where it got cut to 11. The deficit was, the lead was cut to 11. He calls a timeout, bangs a timeout, and starts giving it to his team. Walks away, then goes to the huddle and starts giving it to them more, firing them back up. Anthony Edwards says this was the turning point of the game because they had cut it to 11. They felt like they were seeing the momentum. He calls that timeout to get his team refocused, and they went on a 7-0 run at that point and took back control of the game. Third quarter, you could say there was way more. How could that be the turning point? It was a mental moment. And let's not take for granted the fact that J.J. Redick was coaching anybody over the age of 10. This year is the first time he's ever done that for real when it comes to basketball. And here he is in his second playoff game in a situation like that at home where it was a must win and the game was slipping away. He knew exactly what to do, and he also had the wherewithal to do it. Had a tough practice the day before because of what happened in game one. So he understands already the mental approach to the game, how important it is, the level of physicality you have to get to in the playoffs. And he was able to deliver that message, and it was received by his team to get a win that if they did not get, if they had blown this game, yeah, they're in trouble. Big trouble. Monica?
So I would go JJ as a focal point, maybe not a star, right? Because I don't know that all that stuff is positive. And I actually am pushing back a little bit because I remember this timeout too. For a second, I was like, oh, I never noticed how deliberate JJ's walk is coming out of a huddle, right? But
That's a dad walk.
oh, but he was not.
That's a dad walk. When you walk away for a minute so you compose yourself, and then you go back in the room to let him have it.
But what I would offer to you is that, to me, the Wolves kept themselves out of it. They shot 46% from the 2-point range in the course of this game. Like, after this stretch, they missed a bunch of layups. Yes. Like, to me, the Lakers, I'm not going to call it luck because I do think there was coaching involved. You obviously have veteran players there. But if the Wolves could have made a few layups after this timeout, it would still have been a ball game in my mind. And so my takeaway was, for as bad as the Timberwolves played, overall it was not a pretty game for either squad. They still were in a position to make it a ball game down the stretch. And to me,
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your outfit first before meeting your girlfriend's family. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
for JJ Redick to have to go there in a game two where your team understands the magnitude of not going down 0-2, I'm just wondering if everything's clicking the way it should be over there in Lakers camp.
Yeah, if you know you're down, and that's how you come out. And so, Wendy, that kind of begs the question. I mean, the Lakers, fine, they get the split, but they haven't looked good in either game. Based on what you've seen, ceiling for this team is what? Well, Luka is playing well, so that's the good news. And he has continued to dominate the Timberwolves. They don't really have an answer for him, and I don't see that slowing down. LeBron James continues to not look at his best. There was a moment in this game that I would say sort of summed it up. It was in the fourth quarter. Austin Reeves was on a 2-on-1 break with LeBron, and this is a 99% score, and I don't know what Austin was doing. I don't know what year he thought it was, but LeBron is not throwing that dunk down right now. He did move well in the defensive end, but I just want to point out this was one of the misses the Lakers had in the fourth quarter. They were 5 of 19 shooting in the fourth quarter. So the Lakers are going to have to play a lot cleaner, and they're going to have to play a lot more efficient in Minneapolis because Dan Edwards has done really nothing impressive in this series other than get some assists in game one. He not shot the three ball well. He's not made his mid range. And Edwards is going to come out looking to take control in game 3 of this series. Need you just to make the pick. We're tied at 1 apiece. Goes back to Minnesota. Who wins the series?
I think
Series? I thought you were going to say game 3.
No, it's not fun. It's
like you caught me off guard with that one because how can you tell them? Those two games are terrible. But if I have to pick somebody who's going to win this series, I have to go with the Lakers because they just have more stars.
Okay,
it's not easy. You have to do it.
Just for the sake of the conversation, I will go counterpoint.
There you go. We'll sit on it there. We'll Bucks. Pacers. Damian Lillard made his return. We saw some flashes of Dame time in this one. Pick it up in the fourth. Bobby Portis misses. Giannis does not. Bucket and foul. Misses the free throw. Bucks down 13. Then Lillard kicks it out. Portis hits the three. You're thinking, here comes a little bit of a run. Portis 28 points on the night, down just 8. And then I told you about game time. You did.
You know, this is his Bucks playoff debut.
13, that's amazing. 13-0 run, Bucks trail by 2, and then the very next play, Alan Hahn, you saw what?
Well, no defense. It's only Pascal Siakam. You might want to guard him. Now, this right here by Kyle Kuzma. Clean up on aisle 18.
How do you feel about them, the trash talk?
I mean, these two teams play each other a ton. They're in the same division. They played each other out in the playoffs recently. They don't like each other, but that's disrespectful. That's Damian Lillard.
Bro, and he shot 12-13 from the field.
That was a big shot over Giannis.
Pacers win 123-115 afterwards. Bucks react.
What my team right now is game 3. I know the deal, man. I just know the deal. I know what I gotta do. Look, at the end of the day, it's not something that you have to panic, but also it's not something that you have to be loose. It's life or death. It's life or death. You know, that's how it is for me. I know the deal.
As typically is the case, as Brian Windhorst joins us again, Giannis performing is not the problem. Maybe everything around him has been lately. So, Wendy, what are you hearing around the league, and is this the beginning of the end of Giannis in Milwaukee?
There's two things going on here. One, the Bucks have lost 2 games where Giannis has been awesome. By the way, in this game, they shot 50% from the field. Bobby Portis had one of the best playoff games of his career, and they still lost. Maybe they can do something when they get back to Milwaukee, but it's looking bleak right now. The second one is the elephant in the room in the entire NBA. If the Bucks truly aren't going to be competitive for a title, and guys, they're staring in the face of losing in the first round for a third consecutive year, bleeding tens of millions of dollars, out almost all of their first round picks, with 2 of their key players, Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez, headed for free agency. How is Giannis going to look at this going forward? I don't have an answer. The league doesn't have an answer. But that question is very likely going to define most of the NBA offseason. He has done nothing this year but focus on the next game and play his heart out for the Milwaukee Bucks. There's no indication he's not done anything but invest in his team. But he can see the landscape like everybody else. How can he believe that this Bucks team can continue to improve going forward, considering how they're devoid of all assets? How he looks at that very, very possible to change the face of the NBA over the next 6 months.
Yeah, and Monica, this was a championship window with this team, with this roster, and this franchise. What are your thoughts on potentially that window just now being shut?
Well, I think it reminds us how fragile those windows are, right? And this, to be fair, I think when they won that championship, they had a nice opportunity, but they just were so riddled with injuries and bad luck. Even when you think back to last year, Damian Lillard's playoff debut was not because he hasn't been in a Bucks uniform, it's because of health. And then last year you didn't have Lillard or Antetokounmpo when they faced the same Pacers organization. I give Giannis a ton of credit to Wendy's point. He's been the utmost professional. And just to hammer home, like last night he had 34 points, 14 of 20 from the field. That's 70%, 18 rebounds and 7 assists. And so when he comes to the podium and is like, I know what I got to do, he's putting it all on himself, even though he's already been almost as good as he could be in the first 2 games.
Well, let's be honest. Wendy has a lot more going on in his background right now in the stream than really Giannis has going on around him. That stance in Milwaukee. And Wendy, you look great. And the tie is fantastic. What's real is real. But it doesn't mean, though, that he is 1 foot out the door. As much as the rumors are, as much as we can kind of see the future, because in the NBA we have this pattern of the star player and where he is at 30 years old and what future for that franchise holds. They are an older team now. There's a rebuild they've got to go through that's not easy to do. And that Lillard trade, which was a blockbuster, which flipped the league over and everybody thought was going to open a new championship window, that actually opened a championship window in Boston because they moved on from Drew Holiday. It changed their whole dynamic as a team, and Drew ends up in Boston. So the Celtics benefited from this trade more than the Bucks did.
And you know, this was Milwaukee fans' worst nightmare. Smaller market team losing Giannis to one of the big franchises hasn't happened yet. We'll see as we monitor that as the Bucks don't appear to be heading towards the championships. We keep it rolling now with Monica's signature segment.
Here we go.
Is that McNuts?
She is.
We're starting locally, Monica. Is the Knicks season a failure if they win one series and then are done? Is that McNuts?
I think this is McNuts because it would not be a failure. They would win 51 games. It's more games than they won last year by 1, I know. But also, if you lose to the Boston Celtics, that's a well-oiled machine, right? I also think that this organization
two-time finalist MVP finisher and MVP in the league. So I think you got to roll with it. If they get past Detroit, this season in my mind is not a failure.
You didn't build this team to go to the second round. Right? Like that's not why you made a trade for Mikal Bridges, not why you made a trade for Carlton Towns. I'm with you, though, because everything has to be in stages, everything has to be built, but we are in New York, where the microwave is your favorite appliance because it's quick, it's easy, and I know what I'm getting right away. And that's going to be the problem. That will the organization be able to quiet that noise about making major changes or more major changes, including head coach, if all you see is a gentleman's sweep in the second round against a Celtics team that has dominated you?
Sweet without a fully healthy Jason Tatum. Is that?
I do not think that's McNuts. And listen, no disrespect to the Orlando Magic. They're a terrific team. They fought their way into the playoffs. But the Celtics are that deep. They still have Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis. Like, there's so much depth for this squad. And they've been playing great basketball consistently all season long. I still think the Celtics can get this done if Tatum's not 100%.
I don't really like committing to things. I'm scared. But when Verizon announced that I could lock in a low price for 3 years, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Can you hear me now?
Wrist. I want to see how he reacts on this longer term because I'm going to take you back to 2022. Tatum hurt his wrist early in that playoff run. It bothered him throughout the playoffs. He did play relatively well, but they later found out that he had a small fracture in there. And that's why I suspect when he had this injury, which is to his shooting wrist, that was to his left wrist, that they immediately went out and got an MRI. And I suspect they may hold him out a little bit here. They don't want this to linger.
Yeah, you don't want that to linger, especially when you're trying. You've got that window we've talked about. It appears to be right for another championship run. Okay, final one. Warriors will sweep the Rockets. Is that McNutt?
This one makes me sad, Matt Berry. Okay. I am a sucker for the young teams, the young scrappy teams, playing defense, Coach of the Year candidate, Jalen Green. But I think this is going to happen.
No.
Here's my deal. The Rockets have been the same team in the postseason that they were in the regular season, and that is a team that tends to find these anemic moments on offense. And you just cannot afford to do that with Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry playing the way that they are for the Warriors. I love the defense. I think they can muck it up, bring the scoring down in this ball game, but they have to score the basketball, and they're struggling.
They're going to have to punch first in game two. There's no question about it. And you can't get shooting performances from Jalen Green and Tari Eason like that. Young players, their first experience, can't.
Wendy?
One of them was a 2 seed, one of them was a 7 seed over 82 games. That didn't happen by accident. The Warriors are a flawed team. The Rockets can do a lot really well. I think this is going to be a longer series. I think the Rockets are in trouble losing home court to the veteran team, but there's no way this is a sweep.
Okay, everyone's weighed in. I find this perfect for you. Speaking of let's look ahead tonight. They're on fire this morning. Give me a prop you're playing in Warriors Rockets.
I like Houston tonight. Specifically, I like Steph Curry within the scoring prop to go under 25.5 points. This is a young Houston team that was clearly overwhelmed in game one, and it led to a massive performance from Steph Curry. Barry, he shot over 63% from the floor and 55% from three-point range. That's not happening again. This is your classic zigzag. 31 points in game one. We go the other way in game two because if people forget, April 6th, Amen Thompson, marking Steph Curry, held him to 1 of 10 shooting and only 3 points. I'm not saying that happens again, and I'm saying Curry's not getting the 26 points tonight. We're going under, and we like the Rockets to cover the 3.
Important ball. Later next hour, we're going to brag about me on ESPN Bet this week. And how I nailed my one best bet. I want to know. We'll talk about that later.
If you're an employer, you have the power to save lives. The Screening Time Off program encourages employees to take time to step out for recommended screening. Be the world's best boss. Join Screening Time Off. Learn more at workingwithcancerpledge.com.
Let's have an uncomfortable conversation real quick. Oh, goodness. He is the most overhyped player in this league. He's not even a top 10 big in my eyes. And here's why I'm going at him. Forget the fact that you fired your coach 5 games, 8 games left in the season, and you need him to step up. Forget the fact that John Morant probably shouldn't be playing because he's taking shots every damn day to stay on the floor because we know how severe that ankle sprain is. Forget the fact that he is a former defensive player of the year. Forget the fact that he made an all-star team this year. Matter of fact, forget the fact that he had 4-3. Do you realize 43 was my jersey number in Boston? Do you realize 4-3 is what I average? You're an all-star, bro. They need you to step up at the biggest times. I don't care. It's a make or miss league. You're going to miss shots, but there's no way in hell that Jared Jackson Jr. should ever leave a game without having double-figure rebounds and being impactful on the defensive side of things. So when I look at the Memphis Grizzlies and I look at this matchup against Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, you got to impose your will. You can't have them switching Alex Caruso on you and you're settling for threes and you can't get 2 feet in the paint and punish them on these mismatches. When I think about him, yes, it is 10 bigs that I would take over him right now. He's an all-star, yeah. Yeah, not going to win Tuesday. But number two, I believe John Morant, but I don't believe Jared Jackson Jr.
What, bro?
Let's have an uncomfortable conversation real quick. He is the most overhyped player in this.
Mm.
Curry with the double. Got it. 4 on the floor for Steph. Jokic again. Step back three. Curry. Butter. He set off the smoke. Graham, we still really don't know what the ceiling is for this team as Steph launches another trip. 5 threes in that game 4. Beautiful back cut by Steph. Less than a minute left in this first half. Thompson from the corner. Splash. He crossed the 5-minute mark in the quarter. 3 to shoot. Curry on the launch. Splash. Morris nearly the steal. The reset to Curry. Finds some daylight. He'll shoot. And hits again. And here comes Golden State. Better shot and result by the Joker. Here comes Payton. Full head of steam. Going glass. Gary Payton like a 6'3" big guy. And they're going to screen and roll here with actually Steph and turned in the corner. Curry. Boy, he got Gordon on his back. Played it brilliantly. Timeout Denver. Curry gets it back. Double team. 3 to shoot. Curry. Left hand. He would not be stopped. But he's got to take it personal if they're going to defend him with a small perimeter.
Oh my God.
Gets a good look off the screen. Backs down. Morant pulls back. Curry going in. Morant in the paint. Drives. Knocked away by Curry. Picked up by Poole. They've got a foul. Against the logo sticker. On to shoot. Curry turns the corner. Drives and finishes. Big switch. Now it's Anderson. Curry. And shoulder fake. Curry and Clay. Thompson. Pumped up in the air. Williams had it knocked out of his hand. Curry's got it. Curry. They just set it up right there. He looked to spin and got it. Curry. Got him. Steph Curry. Slips it out. To Lou. Back to Curry. Head fake. One dribble. Three-pointer. Got it. Curry on the drive. Gets inside. Stops. Layup off the glass is good. Oh, razzle dazzle from Steph Curry. They are getting by them well without Morant this year. It's not like they haven't had some success behind him. Mismatch here. Curry gets around block. Streaks in. Fouls. Will be very crucial in that second half. You know, Golden State can do that. Money. It's Curry for the downtown hit lead. Up ahead. Curry lines it up. Curry.
the voice inside your head. And while you're typically athletic, right now, Brick, you're pathetic. Shank.
Shoot, so you think you let Curry block you?
To hit you out of nowhere. Ready to lose the hat and regrow the hair? With Choose by Hims, you can regain your hair and your
This is his
confidence.
first time. He's from Africa
Our
and
shoes are
he's
powered
here.
by clinically proven
I
ingredients
flew him
like
out to Miami.
minoxidil
He's
and
one of the
finasteride.
lucky ones.
So you can grow
How do you
thicker,
like Miami
fuller
right
hair
now?
in 3 to 6 months. No treatment is 100% personalized to your hair goals and comes at an
What did
affordable
you
price
say?
that works for your budget. So you can
Oh,
step
it's
out
different?
with full confidence.
Wow.
Hats off to hair growth.
This is his.
Treatment that works for you. Start today at hims.com. They rotated him to pick up Looney. Curry for trouble. He's done it again here in game 2. Curry, 3 runs and fire. And the Saints are with the kids to Danny B. Good save, Curry. Open triple. Taylor's transition. Here it is. Looney. 3. Step go. What a shot. He is 10-0 Golden State runs. Great verticality by Looney, but strong finish. Curry with the triple. And the problem there is Powell. Powell 2 possessions in the second set. Shot critical shot. Curry a 3. Too high. For them to do so in a year, I mean, they left Doncic open to start, and they couldn't even match him again. Here's Curry zone number 50.
Yo.
Bro, they made me put this vest on, bro.
You already know.
I cut that bit though. Look. What they talking about? What the hell they talking about? Long ass dress. Oh, not me. Yeah, try to push up, so.
Push up.
That's your shit. That shit. That shit look too damn long. Yeah, slow down.
I'm gonna push up.
Alright, twin.
Alright.